Happy hello everyone. You know, Disneyland may be the happiest place on earth, but unfortunately most of us can't live there. So where should you move if you want to be surrounded by happy people? Well, let's find out. My name is Ryan Wingfield and my job is to make people happy. After years of doing stand-up comedy, I've devoted an entire year to the study of happiness. Join me each week right here on a Road Comics Road to Happiness. Starting in 2012, the United Nations started tracking happiness as a measure of social progress. Each year they present their findings in a World Happiness Report, which, yes, is a real thing. Using a variety of factors such as social support, incomes, and healthy life expectancies, the report gives countries a happiness grade based on a 10-point scale, with 0 being pretty terrible and 10 being pretty awesome. Yeah. So which country ranked a 10 out of 10? Well, none. In fact, no country ranked a 9 or even an 8. So even the happiest of countries could use a little more cheer. While the statistics shift slightly every year, it seems that people who live in Scandinavian countries tend to be the most happiest. It probably has something to do with drinking like a Viking. According to the 2015 report, Switzerland was ranked as the happiest country in the world with a happiness score of 7.58. However, Iceland, Denmark, and Norway rounded out the top 4 with what is essentially a statistical tie. Canada is the only North American country to break the top 10, coming in at a polite 5th. They are followed by Finland, the Netherlands, and Sweden. For the last 2 spots, you have to swing around to the other side of the planet, where New Zealand and Australia rank respectively. Of course, you are probably wondering where the United States ranks on this list. Well, we come in at a respective 15th, just ahead of Brazil and just behind Mexico. That's right, people who want to put a fence on the southern border. The people on the other side of the fence are happier than you are. As for what countries are the least happy, well, countries in the poorer part of the world, such as sub-Saharan Africa, tend to rank among the least happiest, along with areas of conflict such as Syria and Afghanistan. I'm sure it comes as no surprise that poverty and war don't do a lot to boost your happiness. Of course, if you are watching this, then you probably live in the United States, and if you want to be happy here, you may want to consider heading north. A 2014 Gallup poll ranked Alaska as the happiest state in the country. That is somewhat ironic since Alaska regularly leads the country in per capita suicides. What? As a native Alaskan, I can tell you it is a beautiful place to live, as long as it is the summer, which is when I am going to guess this poll was taken. Hawaii, which most people would guess would be the happiest, came in at number 2 on the list. The rest of the top 10 is filled with states in the Central Plains or along the Rocky Mountains: South Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, Colorado, Nebraska, Utah, New Mexico, and Texas. West Virginia's slogan may be almost heaven, but the people who live there would seem to not agree. The state leads the list of least happy states in the country, followed by Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Arkansas, Michigan, and Missouri. It is worth noting that the happiest and least happiest cities are not in their respective states. A study by the Center for Disease Control has found that Richmond, Virginia was the city with the happiest people, followed by several other cities on the southern East Coast. It may come as no surprise that New York City was the least happiest city. Anyone who has ridden the subway there can tell you why. The nation's second largest city, Los Angeles, was also in the top 10 least happy cities. It is worth noting that their respective sister cities in Canada, of Vancouver and Toronto, are the top 2 least happy cities in Canada. As a comedian, I find this statistic particularly interesting since a vast majority of my fellow comedians in North America live in one of those 4 cities. As a road comic, I fortunately don't have to visit there very often, and this statistic is one of the reasons why I'm glad. That and the rent there is ridiculous. Thanks for watching this episode of A Road Comics Road to Happiness. Don't forget to subscribe and leave any happy comments below. Next week, I'll be taking a look at the old adage of, does money buy happiness? Until then, keep laughing.